Let's be honest, let's talk. I talk a lot about rebelling against the system in the sense of civil disobedience, simply saying no, simply standing on your humanity, simply saying, hey, I own myself. But there are people out there who protest, who go out in the streets, who burn things, who try to look all rebellious and cool and try to get on social media. I'm not trying to be one of those people. I simply want you to be yourself. In fact, that's the most rebellious thing you can do, is simply stand your ground, say, hey, I'm just living my life. I'm not harming anybody. I'm not doing anything. I'm not blocking the road. I'm not blocking businesses from, operating. I'm not trying to seek attention. I'm just living my life in peace. And maybe I'll record this life just to make sure if something does happen to me, people get to see the hypocrisy of the system that claims to protect us. But I'm just going to live my life and not cause any harm, right? So maybe it's one town not paying taxes, or it's a bunch of people coming together saying, hey, we're just gonna go off grid, grow our own food or whatever. And there's people doing this all throughout the nation. This is what the abolitionists did with the Underground Railroad. But that is a real revolution, right? The most powerful strategies are nonviolent civil disobedience strategies. But people think, oh, political change, and you got to protest, and you got to bring up arms to the state. Like, these are the methods that are just going to perpetuate more suffering. And because they create chaos, it justifies the system, a seemingly justification for the system to then use chaos in response. And then what happens is an escalation occurs. Chaos on top of chaos on top of chaos, and a never-ending conflict and war occurs. Just as you see between government and government, just as much as you can see between government and rebel. We need to end these distinctions by understanding merely that we have the power to simply live our own lives in peace and freely with our fellow man. If you don't think that's possible, comment why, because we can start this conversation. I do video responses all the time, but the point is that I want to live in a voluntary free world, and many people see that as totally possible. We already live in that mostly, and the only exception we give to that is in politics, which for thousands of years has been under the guise of slavery.